Hello again, everybody. So our Zoom decided to kick us off in the middle of our meeting, which is not convenient. But some of you were able to get back on, some of you were not. That's okay. So what I am doing is I'm going to refilm our video and post this on PowerSchool for you to watch. So if you missed our Zoom, you should be watching this video. So I've already written on the pages. So what we're going to do is I'm going to read the problem and show you on a whiteboard. So what we are going to do, so our first one, I have my whiteboard here. Our first problem, so number 7, sorry about that, number 1 on page 67. So right now, of course, I grabbed the one marker that was not working. On page 67, so I'm going to write that down, page 67, number 1 has two 10-frame blocks. So one of our 10 frames blocks has, let's see if I can get this to look right, 1, 2, 3, 4, whoop. So this is what our first 10s frame looks like. So remember, when we're talking about even and odd numbers always have a partner. No one is left out. Odd numbers always have one that's left out. So if I'm looking at the number, let's say 2, everybody has a partner because 2 is our partner pair. 2 comes in a partner pair. So if I have 3, I have one partner pair and I have one left over. So we know 3 is an odd number. Excuse me. So let's look at this one. So we have every box filled. Does that mean, is this number even or odd? Should we fill in the bubble that says yes or the bubble that says no? So if we take a quick look, everybody has a partner pair, right? Partners, 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 partners. Our number is 10 and it is even. So I'm going to circle yes. Our next one, and you can always pause this video if you need a second to fill in the correct answer. So our next one looks like this. So I'm going to fill it in really quick. Our second one looks like this. So does every single box have a partner? Or is there one who's left out? Let's take a look. 1, 2, that's a partner pair. 3, 4, partner pair. 5, 6, partner pair. 7, and we have one that's left out, right? Because this box is not filled. So our number 7 is going to be an odd number. So we are going to fill in the circle with no. So go ahead and fill in that circle. And then we are going to move on to number 3. So I'm on page 67, and now I'm looking at number 3. So we're skipping number 2. So number 3 says, what is the value of the digit 5 in the number 75? So what is the value of the digit 5? So they give us a picture. It has 10 sticks, which I'm drawing now. Not the most beautiful 10 sticks in the world, but that's okay. Okay, so it wants to know, what does the digit 5 represent? So we need to think, what place is our 5 in? Is it in the tens place or is it in the ones place? We know that it's in the ones place. So we can take a look at our picture, and that's going to help us figure out what the value is. So we know 5 in the ones place equals 5 ones. So I'm going to write down 5 ones. And my board got cut off just a little bit. Let's see if we can. There we go. Took me a second. There we go. 5 ones is our answer. So I'm going to go ahead and erase my board. You should be doing this in your workbook with me. Our next page, you should flip over and go to page 68. The only one we're doing on page 68 is number 5. Number 5 says, Jeff starts at 190 and counts by tens. What are the next 6 numbers Jeff will say? So our first number is 190. So we know that when we're counting up by tens, the number that's changing is our tens place. But this one is a little tricky because if we add 10 to 90, it's also going to change our hundreds place, right? Because if we count up 10 from 90, it would equal 100. So we're going to have to add another 100, or we're going to have to add 10 to this, which makes our number 200. So our next number is 200. If we add 10 to 200, our next number is 210. Notice the only number changing now is our tens place. So the number that comes after 210 would be, think about it, our next number would be 220. Notice the only number changing. Our next number would be 230, 240, and our last number would be 250. So the only number that's changing now is our tens place, and it's just going up by 1 because we're adding 10. So you should have these numbers written down on your line. Number 5. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to get these written. I'm going to go ahead and erase. And we are now going to flip to page 69. This is the last page that we're going to do. Page 69, so I'm going to write that on top. Page 69. Our first problem is number 7. It says, draw a picture to show the number 43. So we need to think about what number is in the tens place and what number is in the ones place. So if I'm looking at the number 43, I know that 4 is in our tens place. So I'm going to draw 4 tens, which are long rectangles. And I know that I have 3 in my ones place. So I'm going to draw 3 of my ones cubes, just like this. So that is what your picture should look like. And then down below, it says, describe the number 43 in 2 ways. You have a box that has a 4 and a 3 in it and says tens next to it. And you have a box that says 4 and 3 in it with the word ones next to it. We know that what number is in our tens place? 4. So circle the 4 in your first box. And we know that we have 3 ones. 3 is in our ones place. So go ahead and circle the 3. And then our last one, we are doing an expanded form or an addition problem. So that means we are going to look at what our number represents. So if I have 4 tens, how many ones would that be? What would that mean if I expanded it? So 4 tens would become 40. It's counting up by tens. So if I look at these, I go 10, 20, 30, 40. So my expanded form, I'm going to write 40 plus, and we know 3 just stays the same because it's already a set of ones. So you should write 40 plus 3. So go ahead and pause this video so that you can get this copied on your page. I'm going to erase this. We're going to take a quick look at number 8 and 9, and then we are going, and then that's all we're doing for our review. So 8 says Joe lives on Maple Road. Her address has the digit 2, and I'm going to go ahead and write tens and ones. Her address has the digit 2 in the ones place and the digit 4 in the tens place. So what is Joe's address? So we need to think what goes in the tens place, what goes in the ones place. And they tell us right in our sentence. So it says has the digit 2 in the ones place. So I'm going to put 2 in my ones place. And the digit 4 in the tens place. That means our number and what goes in your blank is 42 Maple Road. 42 Maple Road. Go ahead and get that written down. Our last one is number 9. So we're thinking about, this one says, do the numbers show counting by 5s? We've done a lot with skip counting by 5s and 10s and different numbers. So remember, when we are skip counting by 5s, there's a pattern. The numbers always end in 0 or 5. Always end in 0 or 5. And they go back and forth. So if I am skip counting and I go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, let's look at our pattern. Our first number is a 1-digit number, and in our ones place is a 5. In our second number, our ones place has a 0. Our third number, our ones place has a 5. And then our next ones place has a 0. And so on. And it'll go like that the entire way. So now we need to look at these sets of numbers and decide if they are counting up by 5s. So our first number is 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. Are we counting up by 5s? Let's take a look at our ones place. Are these numbers all a 0 or a 5? No, we are skip counting by 1s. So we are skip counting by 1s in this one. So you are going to fill in the bubble that says no, because we are not skip counting by 5s. I'm going to give you a second. Our next one is 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So let's look at our ones place again. Are we skip counting by 5s if all of our numbers end in zeros and the only thing changing is our tens place? Nope. In this problem, we were counting by tens. So you are going to circle or fill in the bubble that says no again, because we're skip counting by tens for this problem. Our next one is 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. So I'm going to underline my ones place, give you a second. Are we skip counting by 5s? Yes, we are, because if we look at our ones place, it shows our pattern for counting by 5s, which is 0, 5, 0, 5, 0. And it would go on just like that too. So you are going to fill in the bubble that says yes. And then our last one, I'm just going to scoot this down, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So I'm going to underline my ones place. Give you just a second. What do we think? Are we counting by 5s? Yes, we are, because each of our numbers follows our pattern. We're just going up by 5s. 5, 0, 5, 0, 5. So you are going to fill in the bubble that says yes. So that was the last problem that we are going to do together. I am going to read you your test tomorrow. This was just kind of a go over everything, make sure we're ready and understanding before our test tomorrow. So I am going to send back potentially some work to you, some math assignments on Seesaw. So I want you to make sure that you are fixing them and sending them back so that we are ready for our test tomorrow.